Namaste, friends. I'm Heather Wiest with Love Serve Inspire, and today I'll be guiding you through Sea of Victory, all levels slow flow. For today's practice, I highly recommend 2 yoga blocks. If you do not have yoga blocks, 2 books equal size will work great. And also a blanket or a towel for Shavasana. I am here to guide you, but you are always your best teacher. So please, listen to your body, stay safe, and have fun. We're going to begin today's practice lying on our backs in Shavasana. If your lower back is sensitive, please feel free to place a bend into the knees, grounding the feet into the mat. So we'll go ahead and transition onto our backs. Find a comfortable way just to lie down. Arms can be where they're comfortable for now. And we'll take 2 deep breaths together. Nice deep inhale in. Let it go through the mouth. Another deep inhale. And a complete exhale. Just transitioning from our day into our practice. And before we get too comfortable here, I just want you to go ahead and lift up the head and take a gaze at your feet. We all have different levels of turnout with our feet, that external rotation. So just noticing where your feet are in space. If they're more up towards the ceiling, you have a little less external rotation naturally in the femur bone that hooks into the hip socket. And if you have more turnout, you're naturally more externally rotated through the legs. So, and also notice if there's difference from right and left. Oftentimes we have one side that's more open or closed than the other. So just observing and just coming on back. So just noticing that about ourselves helps us understand our openness or more openness on a certain side in externally rotated poses such as warrior 2 or tree pose or similar postures that require that external rotation in our bodies. So just having that awareness. We're very different side to side and just honoring those differences. And I will take one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly, beginning to deepen our breath through our 3-part Durga breath. So we're going to go ahead and inhale, fill up through the belly, press into that hand, draw the breath up into the ribs and the chest, and then exhale now through the nose as you release all the way down. Continuing here, filling up the belly. Finding your rhythm, your pace. Inviting in our theme today of See a Victory. Where in your life would you like to see a victory? Or maybe it's in the life of a loved one that you would like to see them have a victory in a certain area. Or maybe it's even the world globally, our world having a certain victory. And just notice what comes up in your thoughts. I know for me personally, when I'm inviting in a victory that I want in my life, I have to bring in all parts of me, body, mind, and spirit. A prayer I like to say in the morning is, God, help me see you. Help me hear you. Help me know you more. help me say yes to your divine guidance. So that may or may not resonate with you, but just inviting in that still small voice, that divine guidance into your victory. Maybe setting an intention revolved around this theme or something that you've already wanted to bring into your practice today. It could be a positive affirmation, a prayer, or a deep heart longing. Two more deep, full rounds of breath here. And we're softly going to release the palms down. We're going to take sleeping tree. It's like tree pose on our back. So we're going to begin by taking the right foot and bringing it into the inner thigh of that left leg. And then in my body, I notice that one of my hip points wants to lift up. So my hip points are not real equal, and it's bringing a little strain into my lower back. So we're going to equalize through the frontal hip points. So you can take your hands there, just notice if there's any inequalities in the level of the hips. And then I'm going to bring my block underneath my right thigh. And it brings a little more stability and levelness to my lower back and my pelvis. And then I notice that right leg's a little more angled out, not all the way to the right. And that's where it needs to be in my body, especially when I start to take this pose in the standing position. So just bringing that awareness into that posture of tree pose that we're taking right now on our back, sleeping tree. And again, your hands can be wherever they're comfortable for you. We're going to transition into our Ujjayi pranayama, our victorious breath. So allowing those full and complete inhalations and exhalations through the nose. And there's a slight audible sound at the back of the throat. The breath begins to sound like ocean waves coming in and out of shore. Some people like to say it's like a slight Darth Vader sound. Ujjayi pranayama, victorious life force control. We can control so much with our breath. One more full deep breath with sleeping tree on the right side. And then from here, we're going to keep sleeping tree on the right side. We're going to interlace the hands behind the head. The elbows are out to the side. And you're going to really let your head rest into the hands. We're going to take some abdominals here, some nice crunches. So you can either keep your left foot on the mat or you can lift it a couple inches off the mat. We're going to do 10 crunches. So as you exhale, effort up. Nice job working our core. We got 9, 8. You're going to feel a little bit more on that left side. 7, work with your breath. 6, 5, contract the core. 4, relax the neck into the head. 3, you got 2 more, work with your breath. 2, and 1. Good job, release that side. You're going to take a full body stretch. And then we're going to take sleeping tree on the left side. So the left sole of the foot will come onto the inside of the inner thigh. If that's too high for you, feel free to take it at the calf. And then again, I'm going to notice that my hip points become unlevel. That left hip wants to come over to all the way on the side, but then it's really kind of messing with my lower back here. So I'm going to take that block underneath the left thigh. Find that spot for you. Maybe a blanket or a towel works better for you. Feel free to use that as well. And then I kind of feel my hip points to feel nice and level, and I can settle in, just passively opening through that left outer hip and that right inner thigh. And just noticing where that leg is in space. So when I take my tree in a standing position, that's where it's probably going to look like. It's not going to be all the way to the left. Continuing with our victorious breath. Just visualizing that victory you want to have in your life in a particular area. Or visualizing interceding for somebody else that you'd want to have that victory in their life. Or globally, more in the world. Just allowing a little bit of connection here with that divine intervention, inviting in assistance when we need a little extra help. Three more deep full rounds of Ujjayi breath. We're going to go ahead and take our hands, interlace them behind the head, let the head rest in the hands. Elbows are out to the side. Again, you can keep that right foot on the ground, or you can lift a couple inches off the mat. We'll go ahead and exhale up. 10, 9, use the core, not the neck. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, you got this. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Release. Take that left leg, extend it out. Good work. We're going to take both legs to the sky. We'll take the hands towards the feet. We're going to go ahead and flex and point through the hands and the feet, opening up through the joints. You can do a few of those, and then we'll take the rotations of circling the wrist and the ankles in one direction 3 times. And then in the opposite direction. And then hug the knees into the chest. Feel free to roll off to the side. We're going to go ahead and rock up to seated. Nice job. All right. We're going to take Vrksasana. We're going to cross at the shins. If this is not comfortable for your body, sometimes it can kind of rub on the shin bones. Feel free to take just a regular, comfortable cross sit. So I'm taking that right leg in front of the left, so feel free to take that side. Then we're going to inhale the arms up and overhead. As I exhale, I'm going to take that right hand down to the mat. I'm going to lift up through that left arm, get a nice stretch into that left side body. Now I'm going to keep that stretch, and I'm going to extend that right arm out to the side. So I'm beginning to really engage that right side body, engaging that core by feeling the stretch in the left side. Good work. We'll inhale up, and then I'm going to exhale that left hand down, the right arm to the side, get that nice stretch along that right side. And then I'm going to extend the left arm palm to the sky, get that nice engagement of the obliques on that left side. Good, good work. One more full breath. I'm going to inhale the arms up and then back down to heart center. We're going to switch the cross of the legs. So your left leg's going to be in front. Vrksasana, they call this easy seat, but it's really not easy seat. So again, if you need to take another comfortable cross sit, feel free. We're going to walk our fingertips forward, just getting a nice release. I feel it in my lower back. You may feel it somewhere else in your body, the outer hips or into the shoulders. So feel free to lengthen out a little bit more. Just kind of hold here. We're going to take 2 more full breaths. And continuing with that Ujjayi, that victorious life force control throughout our practice. Breath connected. And we're going to walk the fingertips back. You can either roll over your knees or kind of uncross the legs coming into tabletop position. Finding tabletop, we're going to spread the fingers wide. You have the shoulders over the wrist and the hips over the knees. We're going to come into our cow and cat. So we're going to inhale, bringing the head and the heart forward. And exhale, rounding through the upper back, drawing the navel towards the spine. Continuing with your breath here. Inhaling, drawing the heart and the head forward. Exhale, rounding and letting it feel really, really nice. Feel free to add in any additional movement. You can wag the hips side to side. You can take those big hip circles. Whatever you do on one side, make sure you do on the other. About 3 more full rounds of breath. Relaxing through the face, the neck, and the jaw. And then we'll find neutral tabletop. We're going to do a few wrist stretches, just opening up through our wrist. So I'm going to take my right hand and point the fingertips back towards the knee. And I'm just going to hold here. This is enough for me. Some people like to lean back a little bit more, but this is plenty fine for me. I feel a nice stretch into the inner forearm and through my wrist. One more full breath. And then I'll go ahead and return that hand back. We'll do the same thing on the left side. So fingertips facing towards the knee, just resting. The palm down is enough for me. Again, if you need to lean back a little bit, just be gentle with the body. Softening through the tops of the shoulders, gently drawing the navel to spine. One more full breath. And then I will bring that left hand back. Now I'm going to take the back of the right hand down to the mat. And this is a little bit of a deeper stretch, so you need to come back to that first variation, feel free. And then I'm going to do some thumb circles. So I'm going to take my thumb and just do some rotations in one direction and then reverse the direction, just opening up a little bit more into that inner forearm. And then stop, and we'll bring that right hand back. Back of the left hand towards the knees, again. Honor your body. If it's too much, come back to the first stretch. And then we'll do those thumb rotations, a few rounds in one direction. And then you can reverse that direction, just warming up through that area in the inner forearm of the left arm. And then coming back. Good job. We're going to be taking side plank prep. I'm just going to turn my body around so that you can see what I'm doing. We're going to root through the right hand, the right knee, and the left leg is going to come out and just seal down onto the mat. I'm going to make sure my right shoulder is right over my wrist. It's really important just to stack those joints in the body. And then I'm going to take the left arm to the sky, drawing the shoulders away from the ears, and I'm lengthening my tailbone towards that back heel. I'm going to take my left arm forward, palm towards my mat. And if things are going well, you're going to lift that left leg a couple inches off of the mat. So again, the tailbone lengthens, you're feeling a challenge in your balance. Find what works for you today. You can always bring that foot down. We're going to take 5 crunches here. So we're going to take that elbow in towards the knees. 5. Work on the exhale. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Nice job. Slow and controlled. Beautiful balance and movement. Bringing the foot down, the arm back down to the mat tabletop. So we'll take that to the other side. Rooting through the left hand, the left knee, the right leg will come out. Being mindful that the shoulder's over the wrist, right arm to the sky. So lengthening the tailbone towards that back foot really helps to engage the lower belly. We'll begin to take the right arm overhead, palm down, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Then I'm going to lift my right foot off the mat, a nice flex. Challenging my balance here. It's all good. If you fall out, just bring that foot down. And then option to take those crunches. So as you exhale, knee in towards the elbow. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Extending the leg and the arm will come back up, the leg will come down, and coming back to tabletop. Warming up those obliques. All right, puppy dog pose. The hip is going to stay over the knees. We're going to go ahead and bring the arms forward, forehead down towards the mat. Opening up through the upper back. 3 full breaths. Keeping the arms engaged, beginning to engage the upper outer arms. Strong body. And then we're going to go ahead and inhale on up. Draw the palms back, preparing for downward facing dog. Tucking the toes under as you exhale, the hips will come up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. So pushing the hands down and away into the mat. Tops of the thighs are drawing back and up. Feel a nice lengthening through the spine. The head is right between the arms. Upper outer arms turn on, biceps drawing more towards the ears. And then those front ribs hug in, engaging everything. Beautiful job. We're going to bend a generous bend into that left knee, grounding the right heel down more into the mat. So feel a nice stretch somewhere in that right leg. Some people feel it in the calf. Some people feel it in the outer leg. Wherever you feel it, you need it. Another deep inhale in and complete exhale out. We're going to switch that to place a bent, generous bend into the right knee. Left heel will ground down. Feel a nice opening into that left leg. Smooth and steady breath. Now both heels grounding now, pushing the hands down and away. Tops of the thighs back and up. Ribs hug in, arms are engaged, relaxing through the face. We're going to take 3 rounds of dynamic downward facing dog. So on your inhale, you're going to bend the knees almost to the mat, all the way down. Exhale the hips up and back. Helps to open up through the legs. Inhaling the knees, come down towards the mat. Exhale the hips up and back. One more, keeping those arms super strong as you do this. And up and back. Now we'll walk the feet up towards the hands, coming into a ragdoll forward fold. Clasping opposite elbows, sway side to side. Bend the knees as much as you need to release the lower back, still getting an opening in the hamstrings. Go ahead and interlace the hands behind the back. You can rest them at the sacrum or lift them away from the spine and draw the shoulders away from the ears. Create some length in the sides of the neck. And then lastly, we'll interlace hands gently behind the neck, elbows draped down. Just letting your spine relax, getting some beautiful traction and release into the cervical spine. Then hands will come down to the mat. Generous bend into the knees, hands to the hips on the next inhale. Coming all the way up with a flat back. Good work. All right. So we're going to open up through some quarter sun salutations. So we're going to inhale the arms up and overhead. You're going to interlace at the top, and we're going to exhale over towards that right side. Get a beautiful, beautiful lengthening through the left side. We'll inhale to center. Exhale over to the left. Get the nice opening into your right side. Inhaling on up, we'll exhale the hands behind the back and soften the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Get a nice opening into that left side trapezius and shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Let everything go. And then we'll take that left ear to left shoulder, softening through the right side, trapezius and shoulder. Feels really good. Exhale, chin to chest, and then inhale back up. We're going to find our blocks or our books. We're going to be standing on them for our half sun salutations. So you place the blocks at whatever level you like to stand in your mountain pose, and then we'll find ourselves on the blocks or the books and just finding a nice place where you can feel solid and steady in the pose. And then finding Tadasana. Nice gaze forward, solid through the feet. Shoulders are drawing back and down, tailbone lengthening down. Feel that engagement all in the body. Then we're going to inhale the arms up and overhead. We're going to exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart, bend at the hip crease, and then the tops of the thighs press back. Inhaling for your half lift. And then exhale, fold, root to the feet, sweep the arms all the way up. And exhale as the hands draw to heart center, really knit in those front ribs. 2 more full rounds. Inhaling up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Let the head go. Inhaling, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Turn on those quadriceps a little bit more. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Root to the feet, sweep the arms all the way up, Urdhva Hasta in Tadasana. Exhale, hands to heart, Samasti Tihi. 1 more complete round with your breath. Inhaling up. Exhale, forward fold, tops of the thighs pressing back. Inhaling, half lift, expand through the collarbones. Exhale, fold, let the head go. Root to the feet, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands come to heart. Front ribs hug in. Nice job. We'll go ahead and come off the blocks now. We'll keep the blocks towards the top of the mat. We're going to come into 2 classic rounds of Sun Salutation A. I'll be stepping back. If you would like to take a different variation, add in whatever you like to do in your practice. Finding Tadasana. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhaling, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. You're going to take the right leg back, followed by the left. We're in plank pose. Exhaling through Chaturanga all the way to the mat for the first round. Releasing the tops of the feet, pushing through the tops of the feet. Kneecaps lift, elbows hug in, low cobra. Exhale, back down. Tuck the toes. You can lift through half or full plank. And then exhale, tops of the thighs, draw you back. Downward facing dog. That left foot's going to come up between the hands, followed by the right. Inhaling, half lift, lead with the heart. Exhale, fold. Root to the feet, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Second side. Inhaling up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift, strong legs. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, left leg back this time. Followed by the right, you're in plank pose. Exhaling through Chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or low cobra. If you're in low cobra, you'll transition through plank. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. That right foot will come up between the hands, followed by the left. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, fold, let the head go. Root to the feet, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Feels so good. All right, so for our next round of Sun A, we're going to be using 2 blocks underneath the hands. So I'm going to place my blocks right where I would have my hands normally in my flow. You can adjust as we go through this. It'll be nice and fun. We're going to inhale the arms up, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhaling for your half lift. Exhale, plant the hands on the blocks. We'll take that right leg back. We're going to take a dynamic low lunge stretch. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to flex through that right or left foot and straighten through the left leg. And then I'm going to place a bend into the knee. So work with your breath here. Inhale, exhale with each movement. Two more rounds. Let it feel good as you open up through the hips, the inner thighs, the hamstrings. One more full round. And then from here, we will come into plank pose with the hands on the blocks. All right, we're gonna exhale through chaturanga. We're all gonna try upward facing dog. Come over the toes, lift those legs, and then we're gonna come into downward facing dog. Let the tops of the thighs draw you back. Come over the toes, downward facing dog. A little bit different with the elevation of the arms. Let it feel good. We're gonna work on jumping forward. So we're gonna bend into the knees. We're gonna gaze forward. Oftentimes this helps to have that elevation. As you're ready, you're gonna push into the blocks. Use the core to come on up. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, fold. Root through the feet, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. We'll take that on the second side. Inhaling up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, place the hands on the block. We're gonna go ahead and take the left leg back so that right leg will come in between the blocks. So that dynamic low lunge stretch to begin. So you're just gonna bend and place a bend into that right knee, and then you'll straighten through the right leg. Maybe you lift the toes up, bring a flex in the foot. We're gonna do 4 more rounds with your breath. Again, let it feel good. You're in control of how far you go in any of these poses. 3 more. Work with your breath. Relax through the head, the neck, and the jaw. All right. From here, we'll transition into plank. So that right leg will come back. We're gonna come through chaturanga again. We're gonna work on our up dog. So roll over those toes, come on up. You got strong legs, and then those legs let you roll over the toes coming into your downward facing dog. So again, it just takes a little bit of practice. These blocks sometimes help with these transitions. We're gonna bend into the knees. You're gonna gaze forward. You're gonna push into the blocks. You're gonna jump towards the top of the mat. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, fold. Root to the feet, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Nice job. All right, we're gonna work into Vrksasana, tree pose, before we come into our next flow. So you're gonna need 1 block to stand on as an option. So it's kind of nice to have this as an option. Kind of challenges our balance a little bit more. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step onto the block with my left foot. And again, you don't have to use a block if you know balance is an issue, then just don't use the block at all, and you can always have yourself near a wall. So we're gonna take tree pose on that right side. So I'm gonna bring the foot to the ankle, the calf, or you can draw it up into the inner thigh. Once you have a comfortable spot for the leg, you're gonna remember where that leg was in space when you were lying down in sleeping tree. So my leg kind of comes off a little bit more at a diagonal instead of all the way to the right. Then I'm gonna look forward. I'm gonna bring my hands to heart center. And I'm gonna bring hands to the sky if you'd like. You can always keep them down. Just a pose of gratitude, pose of victory. Very strong pose here. You can have a micro bend into the left knee. Pushing that right foot into the thigh and that thigh into the right foot helps you find midline as the tailbone lengthens down. If you'd like a little bit of a challenge, you can interlace the hands and take a standing half moon in your tree pose. So you can try to lean over towards the right, keeping a focus here, and coming back to center. Lean over to the left, and coming back to center. Now, if things are still going well, I challenge you to close one eye. Notice how that affects your balance, and then switch the eye. We always have a weird face when we close one eye. And then if things are going really, really good, maybe you close both eyes. Oh, good work. We'll draw the hands down to heart center and gently release the right side. Shake it out. So really opening up through the outer hip, the inner thighs. All right, so we'll switch sides. So I'm going to go ahead and shift my block a little bit. I'm going to stand on it with my right leg. And being mindful again in the beginning, how much external rotation did you have in the legs? Were they equal or different? And honoring that in your poses such as tree pose. So we'll go ahead and take that left foot to the ankle, the calf, the inner thigh. Remembering what this pose looked like when you were lying down. Again, my leg comes out a little bit more so that I'm stabilizing through my lower back. Lengthening the tailbone down, pushing my foot into the thigh, thigh into the foot. A little micro bend into my right knee feels good for my body. I'm going to begin to lift my arms up, which is, all these things are options. You can just stay with the basic tree pose. So we say a pose of gratitude in our Vrksasana, our tree. In this side, let's be grateful for these challenges that help us be victorious. It takes challenge sometimes, trials, tribulations, to really find that victory that we're desiring in our own lives or in the lives of someone we love or even in the world. So option here to take that standing half moon. So you can lean a little bit to the left. Coming back to center. Trying to lean to the right, really working our standing leg in these poses. Coming back to center. If things are going well, you feel solid and steady, you can try closing one eye, and then the other eye, and then maybe both eyes. Noticing how much of our balance depends on our eyesight. And then coming the hands back down to heart and release the left side. Shake it out. Okay, so coming into our next flow, we're going to find our mountain pose. We're going to come into Utkatasana, fierce pose. So squatting on down, your feet can be hip widths apart or they can be together. Glutes are dropping down. Our shins are shifting back in space, and then frontal hip points lift, engage the core. Strong arms to start, and I'm going to have you take the heels of the hands into the tops of the thighs and just press down. Feel the beautiful lengthening through the low back. Feels nice. Drop the booty down a little bit more, and then exhale, forward fold. We're going to inhale for the half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, bend the knees. We're going to take the right leg back. I'm going to seal my back foot down about a 45-degree angle. It'll vary once you come up into warrior one. So we're going to lift the hands a couple inches off the mat, then by the ears, and then all the way up. A beautiful bend in that left knee. That left thigh is drawing back and in. That right leg is super strong, pressing back. And again, you're going to manage that angle for you to let it feel good in that back knee. Tailbone lengthens down. Frontal hip points lift. Upper outer arms are strong, but you're relaxed through the sides of the neck. Strong warrior one. We can really feel victorious in our warrior postures. Vrksasana one. Find the breath smooth and steady. Ujjayi, victorious life force control. One more full breath in our Vrksasana one. Super strong. Then we're going to go ahead and open up into warrior two, Vrksasana two. Challenge yourself to have minimal movement here. Opening up through the arms, adjusting the legs only if you really need to. Sometimes I have to lengthen my stance in my warrior two. Engage the core. Tailbone lengthens down. Left thigh is drawing down and under, wrapping under that back thigh, super strong, drawing back. I want you to spread the fingers wide. I want you to imagine basketballs glued to your hands and you're palming into those basketballs. So engaging the outer arms And then go ahead and find your neutral positioning. So strong here in Vrksasana 2. Now feel that drawing up through midline. So imagine the heels scrubbing together, using those inner thighs to draw the energy all the way up through the crown of the head. We're going to flip our front palm. We're going to take reverse warrior, peaceful warrior, Viparita Vrksasana. Keep a generous bend into that front knee. Feel that lengthening through the left side body. Now we're going to challenge this pose by taking the right arm out back behind us, palm to the sky. So feel that stretch and strength at the same time. One more full breath. Inhaling the arms back to warrior 2. One more full breath. Get super strong in your warrior 2, looking over that front middle finger. Relaxing through the sides of the neck. And we're going to cartwheel the hands to the mat. We're going to find plank pose. I'm going to switch to the other side for demonstration purposes, so stay right here in your plank. I'm going to switch to the side. We're going to be taking side plank. So feel free to take that prep variation we took in the beginning. We're going to root through the right hand and the blade of the right foot. I'm making sure that shoulders over the wrist, taking the left arm to the sky. We have lots of options here. I'm going to demo all of them. You can stay strong here. You can take a kickstand. Left leg comes in front. It's a very nice modified position that you can take. We're going to be working into tree pose in our side plank. So Vrksasana in Vasisthasana. I'm going to go ahead and reach down for that foot, bring it into the inner thigh, being mindful of where that leg is in space in my other positioning. Lifting up through the hip, holding here, building strength, feeling strong. Wherever you're at is good for you today. And then if you'd like, if you want to take the full variation of Vasisthasana, the leg would come up, you can take the gaze to the foot. One more full breath. And then we're going to transition to plank pose. Working through our Ardha Vinyasa or coming into downward facing dog. Exhale through Chaturanga. Inhaling, low cobra up dog. Transitioning through plank if you're in low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice full inhale. Cleansing exhale. Another deep inhale. And exhale. As you're ready, we're going to float the right leg up and back. Three-legged downward facing dog. We're going to bring that right foot up between the hands, low lunge. Seal the back foot down. Preparing for warrior 1, slowly. Keep that nice bend into the front knee. Then the arms by the ears. Inhale, lifting all the way up. Warrior 1. So again, these longer holds help you to really refine the posture and let it feel good in your body. So I have that nice bend into my front knee. That right thigh is drawing back and in. Left thigh is drawing down, pushing back. And again, you can angle that left foot to comfort for your knee. Lifting up through the inner arch of that back foot. Arms are super strong. Tailbone lengthens down. Frontal hip points lift. Feel your strength in Vrksasana 1, Warrior 1. Where do you want to see that victory? One more full breath. Smooth and steady with limited movement coming in to your warrior 2. I have to lengthen my stance, so I just adjust that front foot. Finding a strong Vrksasana 2. You're looking down at that front knee, making sure it's tracking over the second toe. That right thigh is rolling down and under. Left thigh is pushing back, but that inner thigh kind of draws down to release the low back. Spread those fingers wide. Imagine those basketballs glued to your hands and palm them, push into them. Engage those arm muscles. And then come back to neutral. Draw the energy up through midline. Imagine the heels scrubbing together, drawing all the way through your pelvis, through the crown of the head. One more full breath. We're going to flip the front palm, transitioning into peaceful warrior. Viparita Virabhadrasana, reverse warrior 2. Keeping that generous bend in the front knee. Feel that beautiful stretch in the right side body. Planted through both feet. Then we're going to extend that left arm behind us, palm to the ceiling. So feel that side body engage while you're opening up through the right side body. One more full breath. Soften through the sides of the neck. And then coming back to warrior 2, focused, strong, victorious. Then we're going to cartwheel our hands to the mat, coming into plank pose. Again, you're staying in plank. I'm going to move so I can demo on the side. All right, transitioning into side plank, left side. So rooting through the left hand, the blade of that left foot. Making sure the shoulders over the wrist, right arm to the sky. So option 1, kickstanding. Great variation. You can always come down to that left knee for the prep variation we did at the beginning of class. All right, so working into that tree pose. So again, the foot doesn't have to come into the inner thigh. It could come to the calf. You want to avoid the knee joint. So positioning the pelvis similar to what you had in sleeping tree and standing tree. You're welcome to stay here or reach for that big toe, coming into full Vasisthasana. Maybe the gaze comes towards that right big toe. One more full breath. And then transitioning back to plank pose. Option to come to downward facing dog or Ardha Vinyasa. Exhale through Chaturanga. Inhaling, low cobra up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full deep inhale. Complete exhale. We're going to bend into the knees. You're going to gaze forward. You're going to step or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Root through the feet, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, Utkatasana. Let's do it. Come on down, Utkatasana. Shins shift back in space. Frontal hip points lift. Maybe the hands draw down at the tops of the thighs, releasing the low back. And then we'll come back to heart center. Allow the eyes to close. Feel energy moving through your body. Feel your strength. Feel your steadiness. Notice the breath. Victorious life force control. Ujjayi pranayama. See the victory. Hear the victory. Know the victory. Say yes to those divine guidance that you hear, see, know. Honoring any intentions you've set. We'll softly open the eyes, release the palms. So we're going to take that flow one more time. So honor your body, take only what you want to take from it. We're going to try to take our Vasisthasana from our low lunge, grabbing the big toe. If you know that won't work for you, you can transition from plank, and I will cue both those options. So finding Utkatasana. Strong, strong, strong. Bringing the hands to the tops of the thighs, pressing down. And then exhale, fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. We'll take that right leg back. Ready for warrior one. So inhaling the arms up and overhead. A little less longer holds here in this round. Feel warrior one, another breath. Lifting up through that back inner arch. Nice bend in the front knee. Opening up gracefully into warrior two. Feel those tops of the arms really turned on like you have those basketballs there. Left thigh is drawing down and under, back leg super strong. Energetically coming up through the middle line. One more breath. Feel warrior two. We'll flip that front palm. Taking our reverse warrior, Viparita Virabhadrasana. Keep the bend into the front knee. Extend that right arm back. Feel that strength and stretch at the same time. Inhaling, warrior two. Exhale, we'll take the hands down to the mat. We're pausing in low lunge. Now I'm going to stay here. You're going to see the back of me this time in our side plank. So you have the option of coming into full plank, transitioning onto the right hand, the blade of the right foot. I'm going to be taking my fingers, peace sign fingers, around that left big toe, taking my leg into tree pose, side plank. So finding your way into your variation of side plank for today. Feel free to stay with your variation or try a different challenge. Maybe you reach for the big toe this time, extending through the leg, lifting up. One more full breath wherever you're at. And then we'll bring the foot back down to tree, back to plank, working through our Ardha Vinyasa. Exhale through Chaturanga. Inhale, low cobra up dog. Exhale, transition through plank if you need. Downward facing dog. We'll float the right leg up and back. Three-legged downward facing dog. Bring that right foot up between the hands. Seal the back foot down. Inhaling up. Virabhadrasana one. Right thigh is drawing back and in. Tailbone lengthens down. Back leg engaged, super strong. Strong arms. Feel warrior one. With grace and ease, opening to warrior two. Imagine those balls under the hands, engage the arms. Tailbone lengthens down. Right thigh rolls down and under, left leg pushing back strong, energetically drawing up through midline, through the head. Feel warrior two. We'll flip that front palm, taking reverse peaceful warrior, Viparita Virabhadrasana. Extending that left arm back, palm to the sky. Strength and stretch at the same time. Inhaling back, warrior two. Full breath here. Victorious breath. Cartwheeling the hands to the mat. We're in low lunge. So we're going to attempt to take that big toe and bring it into side plank with the tree variation. Again, if you want to transition to full plank and come into side plank, please take that. So we're going to go ahead, grab that toe, rooted through the hand, coming into your tree variation. Being mindful of how your body feels, honoring it. If you want to reach for the big toe, coming into full Vasisthasana. One more full breath wherever you're at. Then we'll transition back to plank pose. Down dog or Ardha Vinyasa. Exhaling through Chaturanga. Inhaling, low cobra up dog. Exhale. Tops of the thighs bring you back. Downward facing dog. We're going to take our knees down, coming into a child's pose. 5 full breaths. Feeling sensations in your body. Smooth and steady out the breath. Ujjayi pranayama, victorious life force control. See the victory with divine guidance. And we're going to go ahead and inhale, returning back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we're going to bend into the knees, you're going to gaze forward, you're going to step or float to the top of the mat. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, Vrksasana, fierce pose. Last time. Booty down, shin shift back in space. Frontal hip points lift. We'll take the hands to the tops of the thighs, press down, let it feel good. And then inhaling, back up, hands to heart. So nice. Good work, everybody. That was a challenging little flow. So we're going to take Vasisthasana. It's a nice way to relieve the wrist when we've been working a lot in our side planks. So we're going to bend into the knees. We're going to bring the palms of the hands underneath the feet. So I like to take my feet about hip width distance, maybe a little wider. So the toes give a nice massage into the wrist creases. You're going to take a nice deep inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, bend into the elbows. Engage the biceps as you fold down. You can keep a nice bend into the knees, or you can begin to straighten through the legs, drawing the crown of the head down towards the mat. 5 full deep breaths, massage into those wrists. Drawing the shoulders a little bit away from the ears, create some length. 2 more full deep breaths. One more breath. We're gently going to release the hands from underneath the feet. You can heel toe the feet into comfort. Bring the hands to the hips on the next inhale with a flat back. Coming up to standing. From here, we're going to be taking our mats to a wall. So find a wall that's nearby. We're going to be doing some stretching at the wall after we work a little bit more strength on our mat. So just transitioning, bringing your props with you if you have them. There we go. All right. So first we're going to take Malasana squat. We're going to work into arm balance, Vrksasana, Bakasana. If that's in your practice, if not, we will just be holding Malasana squat. Also, when we do that arm balance, if that is in your practice, if you have Ekapada Vrksasana or Bakasana where you take one leg back, feel free to work into that transition. Again, I like to make these classes all levels. So again, take it to where you want to go today. So we're going to go ahead and find Malasana squat. Again, if you want to use the blanket under the heels, it's a nice option if the heels lift up off the mat. So again, your feet can either be straight forward or out to the side depending on your external rotation. So it's all based on your body, how the femur hooks into the hip bone. We're going to come on down. So again, you feel free to hold Malasana. It just feels a nice release for the low back, the hips, getting some mobility into the ankles. If you want to work into your arm balancing, feel free. I'm not going to teach it today, but if it is in your practice, you can take it. I like to take my knees in towards the armpits. I like to look forward. It keeps me from falling down. Bringing the weight into my hands. I have chaturanga arms to start. Lift a toe, then the other toe, and then really lift my core and try to straighten through the arms. Again, if you have that Ekapada option, taking one leg back and then drawing it in and bringing that other leg forward or back, feel free to do that. Holding here, building so much strength, using our body weight to strengthen our bones. One more full breath wherever you're at, and then coming on down. Good work. So nice. We're going to come down onto our bottoms. Working a little more core. So we're going to take a modified Navasana, boat pose, working into, some people like to call it Roman twist or just some oblique work. So you can keep your feet on the mat if you'd like, or you can take your shins just parallel to the mat. I'm going to take my hands to heart center, and I'm going to go ahead and take an elbow to each side. It may or may not touch, and then feel free to bring the toes back down if you need it. So about 10 more each side. Whew. 9, 8, smile, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Just relaxing in a nice beach pose. Imagine yourself just lying on the beach. You can wiggle, waggle the feet, getting a little stretch through the tops of the shoulders. You can let the head not draw back if that feels good for your head. One more full breath. And we're going to come on up. We're going to take Vrksasana. I'm going to keep the right leg forward and I'm going to bring the left foot into the inner thigh. I'm going to come up onto the sit bones, really nice tall spine. A flex into the right foot. I'm going to inhale the arms up. I'm going to angle over that right leg. Really reach forward, folding at that hip crease, and then grab onto what you can. Take another deep inhale to lengthen, and then soften in 5 full breaths. You're going to feel a nice stretch into the QL muscles in the lower back, maybe into your hamstring or outer hip. Wherever you feel it, you need it. Relax the jaw, the face, the neck. 2 more deep full breaths. And we're going to inhale on up. We're going to take a modified wild thing. So I'm going to take my left hand behind me. Right arm's going to come to the sky. That right foot will plant down. Open up through the front body. Take it where you want to. And then exhale all the way back down. We're going to switch sides. So we'll take the left leg out, right foot will come into the inner thigh. Really sitting up on those sit bones. We'll inhale the arms up, angle over that leg, really extend forward, then grab onto something, another deep breath, and then fold on in, 5 full breaths. Noticing where you feel sensation, breathing into it. One more deep full breath. And we'll go ahead and inhale, arise. The right hand will come behind, left arm to the sky, planting that foot down, left foot down, taking it where you want to, opening up through that front body. And then we'll exhale all the way back down. Both legs forward. We're going to take a classic Paschimottanasana. Feel free to bend the knees as much as you need to in this pose if the hamstrings are tight. So I'm up on those sit bones. I'm going to inhale the arms up. I'm going to reach forward, finding where you want to clasp onto. Another inhale to extend, and then exhale, fold it in. Straighten through the legs if you can, but keep a bend in the knee if you need to. 3 more deep full breaths. Crown of the head reaching towards the feet. Relax the jaw. 1 more breath. We're going to go ahead and inhale, coming on up. We're going to be transitioning to legs up the wall and then coming into dragonfly and butterfly at the wall just to get a little extra stretch. And then we'll be making our way a little bit away from the wall, coming into a spinal twist and then Shavasana. So to come into legs up the wall, you want to find your hip as close as you can to the wall, and then the legs will come up the wall. You try to get as close as you can to where it's comfortable for your hamstrings. If the hamstrings are super tight, then sometimes a little bit away from the wall feels good. So Viparita Karani, fabulous posture. It's an inversion. You're going to feel the blood flow coming down the legs into the torso. It's very good to reduce swelling in the legs and the feet. Helps drain our lymph nodes in the legs. Very calming for the mind. So oftentimes, if we want to see that victory in our life, we have to let go of some story that maybe we've been holding on to for too long. Things that are holding us back, things that we have moved forward from, that we're just ready to move on to that next chapter, to let go of that story. Maybe you revisit that story over and over again, and it's time to really let it go, to find that victory in that next chapter. Just noticing how that might resonate for you today. And just allowing yourself in this pose to maybe let go of that story. The one that's no longer serving, the one that you've already worked through and processed, and it's time to let it go. We're going to transition into dragonfly. So I kind of have half a wall here. So the legs come out to the side. You're letting gravity work with you here. So allowing the opening to happen where it needs to. We're going to hold here for about a minute, not super long. If it's too much for you today, come back to the original legs up the wall. You can even take the hands to the outsides of the thighs if you need to for a little bit of support. So see that victory. Let go of story. Noticing where you might be gripping here in the face, the neck, the shoulders, inner thighs, outer hips. Relax with the breath. Beginning to come into our extended exhalation breath. So noticing your natural inhale count really lengthening out through the exhalation. As you're ready, we're going to transition from dragonfly into butterfly. So the soles of the feet are going to come together. The hands can come to the inner thighs just to offer a little support or a little deeper variation of the pose. Now I'm going to bring my feet to the wall and I'm going to shimmy myself back a little bit to where I can take a spinal twist. So I'm going to go ahead and take my arms out into a T. Feel free to adjust the hips if you need to. And we're going to twist to the right to begin. So I'm going to hug my knees into the chest and then come on over to the right. If you want, you can take that right hand to the outside of that left thigh. You can gaze over that left shoulder. And you can take it a little deeper by drawing the bottom of that left shoulder blade towards the left elbow. Now, 5 more deep full breaths here. And then we'll go ahead and slowly come back to center. Adjusting, drawing the hips a little bit more to the right this time, knees into the chest, and then over to the left. The left hand can come on the outside of the thigh, can gaze over that right shoulder. Bottom of that right shoulder blade, reaching towards that right elbow for a little bit more twist in that thoracic spine. coming back to that positive affirmation, that prayer, that deep heart longing. God, help me to see you. Help me to hear you. Help me to know you more. And help me to say yes to your guidance and leading. One more deep full breath. And we're going to slowly come back to center. You're going to plant your feet down onto the mat. And just like we did in Vrksasana, we're going to take the heels of the hands at the very tops of the thighs and give yourself a nice push here, really lengthening through that low back. Feel the natural curve in your lower back. Let it feel good. One more full breath. If there are any other closing postures you would like to take before Shavasana, feel free to take those now. I'm going to set up in Supta Baddha Konasana for Shavasana. So I'm going to be taking the soles of the feet together in a butterfly shape. I'm going to bring my blocks to where they're underneath my knees and thighs, supporting me. And then I'm going to bring that blanket just to add a little weight on top of the belly. Just feels nice for my body. Feel free to set up in this variation or any other variation of Shavasana, just lying on the back. You can lie on the belly. You can lie in a fetal position. So just taking a minute here to transition from our strengthening, our stretching, to our final relaxation. Letting every muscle in the body just melt into the propping and into the mat. Drawing the shoulders away from the ears and drawing the shoulder blades into the chest just to help open up through that heart space. Relaxing through the hips and the thighs and the feet. Maybe you move the mouth around or take a yawn or a swallow to release all the muscles in the face. And just allow yourself to see the victory in your own life, in a loved one's life, or even globally. Shavasana. You are welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. If you're ready to transition, we'll bring some gentle movement to fingers and toes. You can rock the head gently side to side. We're going to gently draw the knees back together. Taking your time, we're going to transition into a fetal position on either side. And just noticing here the effects of the practice. The body relaxed, the mind calm, the spirit encouraged, at peace. More able to tune in to that still small voice, that divine guidance and leading, helping you to see the victory. When you feel ready, we're going to use the strength of the arms to make our way into a comfortable seat. Once you find that comfortable seat, just resting the palms face up on the thighs in a receiving gesture. Resting here for 1 minute of quiet reflection and meditation, fully integrating our practice. Allow yourself to listen and receive. And we'll take 2 collective breaths together. Nice deep inhale in. Let it go through the mouth. Another deep inhale in. Longest exhale yet. And drawing the hands at heart center. It's always an honor and a pleasure to guide you through this practice. Thank you for sharing your beautiful presence with me. From the light within me, I honor and respect the light within you. Walk in grace and peace and shine bright, my friend. Much love and namaste. Thank you everyone for joining me today. Feel free to stay connected with me on my website, Love Serve Inspire